Thank you.
It's 9:01, we're gonna call Adams County Board of Supervisors to order. Hopefully, we're gonna try to go to, few of us going to the funeral of Dan Dillard, so we're gonna try to move through our meeting so everybody, we can pay our respect. So now we're gonna ask Mr. Bradford to lead us in prayer.
Let us stand. Dear Father, we thank you this morning, God, on a glorious day, Father. We thank you for allowing us to see another day, God. And Father, we just carefully give your name all honor, praise, and glory, God. And Father, we just come, Lord God, we just want to ask that you continue to keep the Dillard family in prayer, Lord God. Continue to comfort them, Lord God. And Father, we just continue to pray for our supervisors and their families, Lord God. Keep a hedge of protection around them, Lord God, and all our county workers and everyone in this county, in this city, and in this state, and in this country. And God, we just want to pray for the storm victims, oh God, in Sharkey, Humphreys, Monroe, Calhoun, all those counties that was affected, oh God. And Father, we ask you, oh God, you continue to keep their families that may have lost loved ones. We keep them in our prayers, oh God. Continue to uplift them, oh God. And Father, we just ask these prayers in your precious Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. We'll lead the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a motion to approve of the March minutes? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson to approve the minutes of March. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously. We have, next on is the approval of the docket. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nays have the same right.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to interrupt, but could we go out of order? Could I make this motion to lower this flag in honor of?
Yes, sir.
I move that we lower the flag in honor of the life of Alderman Dan Dillard.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins to lower the flag halfway in honor of Alderman Dan Dillard. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Motion carried unanimously. All right, monthly financial report, Adams County Sheriff's Office. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson, properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Now we have the approval of the Chancery Clerk Financial Report. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson.
Second.
Properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. All right, now we need a monthly approval of the financial report for purchasing. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Are we down to special presentation? Any special presentations? If there be no special presentation, we'll move right on with county business. Kevin Walsh, tax abatement.
Yes, sir. Thank you for letting me speak. My wife and I are residents of, permanent residents of Natchez, and we came here in January 2021. We live at 306 South Union Street, and we took on a big renovation project. The house that was there was in dire need of a lot of work. And so we started, I won't take up much of your time, but just to kind of talk about what we did to the house. We spent more than $100,000 on materials, labor, but did a lot of the labor ourselves. There's a spreadsheet here that kind of shows expenses that we submitted as part of a Mississippi State Historic Preservation Tax Credit. We later learned, and we were all those. It's a very thorough check that the state does on historic preservation in terms of documenting expenses. So they approved our submission, and we were given a tax credit as a result of that, as are a lot of folks who take on historic preservation projects in Natchez. We later learned that the city was offering a tax abatement. It's not a tax credit, it's an abatement on an increase in taxes for up to 7 years. And that only covers the city portion. It does not cover the county portion, and it does not cover, to my understanding, school taxes either. We were approved for that abatement not too long ago. I was back in January of 2022. And I was we were gonna kind of leave things there when we got that abatement, thinking that that was that was the end of it. And we're encouraged in talking with both the city and some county officials to come before the board and ask if the county would also grant an abatement on the county portion of the taxes based on the work that we did. And again, I want to emphasize this is not a tax credit, it's an abatement on future increases for a 7-year period. Since that time, we've been awarded a special merit award in the last annual meeting of the Historic Natchez Foundation for the work we did. Again, we spent about $110,000. It was $100,000 in qualified expenses. It's probably gone up since then because these old houses require a lot of work. And that's money that goes into labor in Natchez, a lot of workmen, craftsmen, suppliers of material. I included a copy of the city tax abatement policy, but also the mayor's column that he wrote on the issue that emphasizes the amount of new economic activity that restoration of these old homes brings to Natchez. I think he said over 1,000 building permits in the year prior to this column that he wrote. And he also mentions, and I think this is a really great idea, that these abatement programs shouldn't extend just to the historic district, but to also residential renewal districts across Natchez where residential renewal is needed. I just say that based on our experience in talking to people across Natchez, people are going through a similar process. I think you're going to have a gentleman next week who's also going to come here and ask about the possibility of a county abatement. And I come here not so much to ask for an abatement for us, but just for the board to consider matching the city abatements that are being granted, not just for us. But I just close by saying that based on our experience, the people who are coming in to renew these homes, historic homes, are maybe not all, but there's certainly a majority of them are people from outside Natchez. They're newcomers. And I think these credits, these incentives are a real attraction, as well as the quality of life here in Natchez, the affordability of homes, and the beautiful old homes that exists here. So if I can answer any questions, I'd be happy to.
Do y'all have any other questions for him?
No.
Well,
Scott, is what he's asking for, even, is something we've ever done, or?
So nothing we've ever done. It is a statute that allows you to, and it's, I'm not sure how much actually the tax abatement is worth, because the way it reads is you can't, or if you abate these taxes, his taxes aren't frozen contrary to what the city says. It's like if you add an addition to a house or whatever, that new portion you wouldn't tax on, but the old portion would remain the same, which can increase and does increase regularly. The land, for instance, is consistently going up, not all the time, but mostly of years, and that's not gonna change. That'll keep on increasing and so forth. So I'm not sure what the exact value would be on the abatement. This is something we've never done before, but it's never been pushed.
what we'll do is take it under advisement and do some research and have the attorney get back with you.
That's great.
And I just also want to point out too, I know the board is aware of this, but the county they are funded mostly through ad valorem taxes, unlike the city, which is funded through mostly sales taxes. So it's a little bit different of an ask from the county's perspective versus the city.
Completely understand. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your presentation. Rita King, Southwest Wells of Mississippi, and Pretty Girl. In the city government business.
Mr. President, I really don't have no business, but I just want to make a comment on what the city did for Morgantown Road. I was at the meeting, and I'm glad I was at the meeting because it gave me an opportunity to communicate with Alderman Dillard for the last time. I had no idea that that was gonna be my last time seeing him, but I want to first thank God for with this Morgantown Road project. I know there's a lot of things been going around, but at the end of the day, God made it happen. So I just want to thank God and everybody else that had something to do with it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I'll just add just a little bit move forward. It's been a long time coming. Me and the road manager actually went and called, I think, Mr. Hensley. A lot of Morgantown hadn't been on record. It was 40 years ago, 1979 and 1980 when Robert Hensley did Morgantown. And, you know, we had a lot of previous boards trying to get it done. And so, you know, I don't give credit just to me. I give credit to all the players. I mean, from the lobbyists, the city, the county, everybody sits on this board, and most of all to the good Lord for allowing that to happen under our administration. So I know it will be a big relief for the people of Morgantown. A lot of them thought it wasn't gonna happen, but you know, you seeing it happen. So I just thank everybody. I want to personally thank my board here and the other, all the working parties, the lawyer and everybody else, the engineer, because we did a lot of hard pushing. Okay, and I just want to say thank you.
At the end of the day, when God for you, the devil can't do you no harm, brother.
So, all right, we're gonna move straight on into departmental reports. Don't be shy.
Good morning, and that fails with Adams County E911. The reports for March, the whole month of March, got NPD 1,257, Natchez Fire Department 42, with 21 being in the county, Adams County SO 549. Also, I have 3 promotions that you have there in front of you for 3 employees that are being promoted for like 40-cent raise, but it was already in my budget. Nothing has to be done. It's fine.
You got them in there.
You should have them.
Gotta be spread across the minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all salaries have to be spread across. To get them exempt, put them on payroll.
So,
Yeah.
Got the paperwork? Yeah, that's what I said. He has the paperwork.
Chef Captain, with this, call the names are Shanika Miller, is this one of yours?
Yeah, Shanisha Miller, Mac James, and,
Sarah Davis?
yeah, Sarah Davis, yes.
All right, while we doing this, we're gonna take care of this. We have Mac James going to 1465, shift captain and attack officer. We have Sarah Davis, shift captain at $13 an hour. And we have Shanicia Miller, shift captain at $13 an hour. If we would, can we do them all together?
The first one is what?
There's Mac James at 1465, Sarah Davis and Shanicia Miller, both at $13.
And you said so in the
Yeah,
budget?
it's in the budget, it's just a 40 cents difference for them.
All right. Can I get a motion?
Second.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Gray. If there be any discussion, if there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Okay.
Yeah,
Any
thank you.
questions for me?
Anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Next, departmental report. No, let me back up 1 second. Let's do, Ms. King just came in. I seen her came in.
Good morning again. My apologies for being late. We are helping with disaster relief in Rolling Fork, so we had a lot of calls this morning. But good morning. I am Jarita Fraser King to the board president, and everyone. Thank you for having me today. Today, I just want to come to you to ask for your support. We are trying to put together a program that will service this community of Adams County. As you know, currently right now, Fraser School is closed, and we are in the process of going into redistricting and retooling some of the schools. We were here, me, myself, and Ms. Betty Bell. She is absent today, she is ill. She is the director of Pretty Girls with Brains, and I am the director of Southwest Wellness Association of Mississippi. We would like to use the expertise we have right here in this community, because charity starts at home. We would like to use Fraser School to do programming to teach people in the community life skills training, some workforce skills training, and try to use the industries that we already have currently going. We would like to teach the students to do tourism classes. There can be tour guides for the city. We will also teach them hospitality training skills as well too. And we would like to serve as like a incubator to help them to be able to serve some of the positions and the lack. So we want to fill in the gaps and different things that we have here in the community. I know a lot of different restaurants are in need of workers. So we want to help to fill that gap of training these workers. And we are working with disengaged youth as well as reentry citizens. One of the things that we have is high crime. We feel like this is, and statistics will show that when people have positive things and positive programs within the community, that will help to kind of decrease the crime rate as well. Some of the things you see here too as well, I have spoken with Ms. Williams since I presented this to the Board of Aldermen, and she is on board, and we're gonna have a meeting because we're gonna go back to the school district and make a formal presentation. We spoke on the the public comment about this, and the school board was very welcoming to the idea of working together. And I know you already have your agreement between the city, the county, and the school board. So we just wanted to get a letter for support from you all. We identified 9 grants that can help us with publicly funding this program. We've also identified that it's gonna cost us $3,000 a month in utilities to run that facility. So first we wanna ask for your support in a letter, form of a letter. And then secondly, if there is any financial support that you can put to our project when that time comes. I don't wanna go through the whole document, but again, some of the other things we will be doing is GED training. We have partners with, out of Jackson, with the workforce development school there, and she is providing right now in her facility Dependable Core Solutions. She is providing driver skills training. She has truck driving training there. She's also doing the program where you would also provide dispatching for truck drivers. So she's willing to partner with us as well too. And these are some jobs that you can do from home. So we want to just start with some of the expertise that we have now in the community to provide programming so that we can help boost the economics here in our community. Because again, charity starts at home, and I'm hoping that you all can help us to plant the seed in the community so we can continue to grow. We are happy that our school district is doing leaps and bounds and is growing, and they are improving in the school district, but we know that it's gonna take time to get big industry here. But in the meantime, like I said, we can start with some of the extra teachers and people that we have in the community. We have over 20 partners who are signing on, who is willing to help. You can see some of the programs. Entrepreneurship is very needed. Right now, I think some of the young ladies in the community braiding hair is almost making more money than me working on the job every day. So we want to help to support them and give them the skills that they need to be a viable business. If you have any questions, I will take those questions from you now.
Yeah. Well, I'll start off, and I'll say, I think you're having a really good thing to move it. But what I would like to do is just make sure we get on one accord, because like you said, we do have county, city, and the school board. We're working together to do a workforce training. We also partner with Colin, and we don't want to cross any program. This was one of the main things that we tried to, because workforce is a big thing, and so, I would like to see stuff move forward, but I really would like for us to, not just us, but us as the school board, the city, the county, and kind of call in, we sit down and make sure that our programs don't take away from each other, and we can move this thing forward. I'm gonna open the table up for any other comments.
Well, I'll just say, let's take this under advisement right now. And then until we get some clarification from those three entities about,
The interlocal, we have an interlocal agreement.
Right, correct. And I spoke with Ms. Williams earlier this week, and so she and I are going to get back together. So when we go back and make the formal presentation to the school district, we could be on one accord. But she was in support of this being a good direction to move because of some of those funding things that she have even been inquiring and applying for have not come in yet. So she thought this would be a good stepping stone. But again, we just wanted to plant the seed here in the community and ask for your support, that you know what we are doing, and we will hoping that we can make Natchez a bigger and stronger, better Natchez.
Yeah, all right, well, I appreciate it. If there be no comment, we'll get back and, we'll have some formal conversation. We'll all be at the table and look at it. But I appreciate what you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now back to the departmental reports.
Good morning, my name is Janine Price, I'm the purchase clerk for Adams County Board of Supervisors.
Good morning.
Firstly, I would like to go over the quotes that we have. We received one quote for the fixing of Broadmoor Park. We're still working on trying to get a second one, we've been unable to get one, but we're still working on it.
Okay.
The second quote we have is with LaGrange Concrete for the basketball court. We received two quotes. The material was the same on both quotes, $10,858.35. And the labor was $84.80 and $9,600. So Henry White has the one for the concrete basketball court in LaGrange.
we make a motion on that.
Yeah.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchinson and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray to accept the lowest bid. Henry White on that. Any discussion? There be no discussion. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed? Nay, cast same right. Motion carried unanimously. All right.
Thank you. The next quote we have is with Hensley Construction for the parking lot at the Extension Building for $15,960. We don't have to have a second quote because Hensley bid for the, received the bid from the road department.
Well, you heard the request. That's the Mississippi Extension Building parking lot down there. You heard the request of the purchase clerk. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor?
Where's that coming out of?
Okay, that's from Hensley Construction.
The money for the parking lot?
Oh,
Mike, that's it, they're wrong.
Yes, Johnny Fund, wherever. I don't know where we come from, but I figured it's come out of St. George.
That one just-
16,000.
We will have it left from y'all,
Can't take it out recreation, it's not recreation.
oh, okay.
Can't take that. It ain't in maintenance?
I mean, I don't know, I was just asking where it was coming out of.
We'll,
Well-
Depending, we figure out where the money's
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending,
Okay,
depending on the money, situation, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
just,
Okay. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
Okay, next I would like to go over the 6 months bids for road supplies. We open up the bids, and the first one we have is St. Catherine Ready Mix. Okay, the bulk concrete 3,000 PSI, $155 per cubic yard. Bulk concrete 3,500 PSI, $160 per cubic yard. Bulk concrete 4,000 PSI, $160 per cubic yard. 2% calcium, add to concrete, $8 per cubic yard. Flowable field, $135 per cubic yard. And pea gravel, grout, 6.5 pound bag, $170 per cubic yard. The next one we have is with Hensley Construction. And that bid was for the tack coat, $8 a gallon, to lay down the asphalt per job, 50 to 200 tons, $140 with 1.5 overlay, and $135 with 1.5 to 2 inch overlay. Lay down the asphalt for 200 to 500 pounds, $85 for 1 to 1.5 overlay, and $80 for the 1.5 to 2 inch overlay. Leveling, $160 a ton for 1.5, $160 a ton for 1.5 to 2 inch overlay on that. Patching the 4 inch, patching 6 inch, and 100 square feet above 300 tons. And the 6 inches, 100 square feet and above, $300 a ton. The next one we have is the surface course, $170 per ton, $170.10 with APAC. And APAC also has the lay down the asphalt per job location, inch to inch and a half, 500 and above, is $64 per ton. And lay down the asphalt on job location for 1.5 inch to 2 inch, 500 and above, $63 per ton. And the last one we have is Southern Coverts, all sizes, descriptions, concrete, metal, plastic accessories, coating, uncoated and rolled pipe. It's, that's the last one. So anyone have any questions?
Robert, you,
John, with it, like I said, it was a big difference between, and I just want to say it, with APAC and Henley on the 0 to 200 or 0 to 50 and 50 to 200 or whatever. It was a huge difference in one takes to lay down asphalt. She didn't go through them all, but like I said, the only thing APAC got was 500 and above. Mr. Hensley got everything for that.
all right, so,
And everything going up.
everything going on.
Mr. President, that's the question I wanted to ask, because reading the newspaper and what happened to the city, thank God we did everything we did before we got that increase,
Yeah.
because if we would've waited, then I don't know if we would've been able to, overlay the amount of roads that we did, because you told us if in January it was gonna hit, so we made all our deals,
Correct.
before January, so
Correct.
that was a good, smart move. Thank you, Mr. President.
Now, I also had on my mind, Mr. Dollar, I want to thank you for doing such a good job for looking out for the county, to making sure we already had that locked in, because like you said, it was a $3 million increase with the city, so it cuts a lot of roads out. So I thank you for doing a great job investigating and, taking care of business like you did.
Mr. President, no disrespect, but that was me. No, I'm just joking.
All right,
Mr. Dollar.
so do we need to take,
Mr. President, let me ask you this. Is there something we need to go ahead and handle right now before things go up on this also?
No, we just need to accept these bids, put them on our 6 month.
Accept the
bid.
low
okay,
Yeah,
so we need a motion to accept our
Accept the
bids,
lowest bid.
accept the lowest bids on our 6 month contract. Can I get a motion?
Yeah, that's what I
It's been motioned by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Hutchins to accept the lowest bids on our 6 months contract. Let there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. If any opposed, nays have the same right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Make sure the page or.
I will. We got her copies already. Just trying to make sure, with the Chester Willis Field, I don't know if we need to advertise, permission to advertise. I've been working with Mr. Furr, but I just wanted to spread it across the minutes to get permission to advertise for the first phase of the, demo and reconstruction.
So you heard the, request of the. What's she? Comptroller. Comptroller, to make sure it's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly second by Supervisor Gray to, open up a bid for the first phase of the Chester Willis, ball field.
Is it
I'm
open
just-
up the bids or?
I mean,
Please advertise the
give
bids.
permission to
No,
advertise.
advertise.
I would just
In
like,
discussion, yeah.
I'd just like to say the urgency on this, just so everybody knows, is part of this first phase is gonna be preparing the field surface, and the entire outfield will be laser graded with new grass and planted, sprig grass, so it's gotta be put in growing season, so that the field is ready for next season.
All right, there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Thank you, any more?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Any questions for me?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Have a good.
All right, Mr. Sorry, we cut y'all, thanks for being patient there.
It's okay, that's why I get paid for it. Thanks. Good morning, everybody. I got a couple things I want to request. Travel for myself and Miss Bree Cooks to attend the Partners of Paradise Summit. That's in Biloxi, Mississippi. And that's gonna be May 16th to the 19th. They're gonna pay for our hotel rooms. So the only thing the county will be responsible for is just meals and gas. And I have those here. If, I don't know if a supervisor was going.
So,
You heard the request, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Hunter, can I get properly second by, Supervisor Wilson? There be any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I'm gonna get it approved. I still ain't made my mind up yet, so I just.
yours was already approved.
You
He's
already,
already done this, he did this last time.
Last
He
time.
just had
Yours
Bree
was
It
now,
was-
last time.
Yeah, me and Bree.
but Bree wasn't going the first time around.
No, she was, we was just, our supervisor, we just getting the supervisor to go.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, we already
Yeah.
approved, yeah.
yeah, it's already approved, so.
Okay, so you are going, supervisor?
I'll let you know. I ain't made my
Okay.
mind up.
All right, just let me
I'm
know.
still in championship mode right now.
Okay, next thing, we did work on the siren, in Cloverdale. We took it down.
How'd you know it was gonna happen?
Hold on,
Huh?
You gotta pass that motion.
we had to, finish that motion, you said you already did.
No, it's all right. No.
No, that was
me.
fun.
Oh, you did him, okay, so, there be any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Okay, back to the siren, we did take it down, we worked on it, put it back up. We found out there's another problem, we got to order the part for it. So the only way to test it was to put it back on the base. So we found out, we replaced the bushes, now we got to replace a motor in it. So once the motor get in, we already got the guy lined up, so it should take us probably about 2 hours to get it fixed. So we should be good by about April 15th. So yeah, everybody should be good. So we got it, we did a preliminary on it, we know what's wrong with it, so we're gonna get that fixed.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay. Also, I asked the board to allow my office to continue to support Sharkey County and disaster recovery. We've been going through, we was up there all last week, trying to get them on board to be able to go into the recovery mode. They're doing their request for proposal this week, so they're getting all the contractors in to get the bids and stuff. So we're up there assisting the area main director and board of supervisors on this process. So I ask that we continue to support them to the 15th. They are paying for gas and stuff like that for us traveling up there. So until we get them on their right feet, I ask the board to allow my office, Adams County, to continue to help them.
And I would like to apologize to the board, because I know you have been in contact with me, and, you know, I try to stay legal to make sure, and our attorney here is a new father. So he, you know, we had to give him a pass, but we couldn't, I ain't giving him, he was having a baby, and we didn't get the mass email out, on it. Other than that, I wouldn't give him a pass for making sure everybody was on the same accord, but, you know, we appreciate what you do, and I know they appreciate what you do.
Okay.
Congratulations, by the way. Nice to see you.
I'm sorry. Mr. President, all I want to do is ask if this board would be willing to maybe chip in and buy some things to send up there for them. I'll chip in and buy something. I talked with Mr. Bradford, and he was saying that they need some lift chair and gate rate and all that kind of stuff. So if we could do that to try to help them out.
Yeah, we go.
That's all.
Mr. President, I just wanna thank Brad and his crew for going up there to do whatever they did, because one thing I do know about Mississippi, when a disaster, tragedy hit, that's one of the few times that we do come together and do what's best for Mississippi. I wish it was like that all the time. We could come together and do what's best. But I know during a disaster or tragedy, we are known for coming together and taking care of our fellow Mississippi. Thank you.
So we did use the ambulance, so I think the state was thanking us. There's only 2 in the state, and we have 1, so they called us at 2:30 saying they needed, so we was able to get drivers and take it up there and evacuate their nursing home. So the board of supervisors, thank you guys for allowing that to happen and stuff like that. So
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. No, go ahead.
Good morning. I'm here to request travel for me and the other constable to the Mississippi Constables Association in Biloxi, June 12th through the 15th. I have my paperwork, he just hadn't did his.
We can only do it. You gotta have this paperwork.
Yeah, he got to get his, I got mine.
Okay.
All right, I'll ask for a motion to,
I can, and Mr. Freeman get his. I'll make a motion. I made a motion pending Mr. Freeman get his paperwork.
I'm trying to do, okay. Well, it's been properly moved by Supervisor, Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any more discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. If any opposed, nays have the same right.
What is that? 12th through the 15th?
June.
I'm short and sweet.
All right.
Good morning, board. First thing I have is spoiled dirt request,
Have them in the front of me.
6 Grafton Circle,
Dr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. 6 Knox Road, Mr. Felter.
Yes,
7 Jameson Road, Mr. White.
I have them.
130 Burkhart, Ms. Johnson.
I have. All right, you heard the request of the road manager on spoiled dirt request, and I do have the paperwork in hand. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Mills. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
I get permission for Meg and myself for the conference on the coast in June, the June conference for June the 12th through the 16th or 15th.
You heard the request of the road manager. Can I get a motion?
Middleton and Wilson.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Mills and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. If there any discussion, if there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Other thing I have, Scott, is that, property that, Willow Creek Management on 61 North, about the EWP. I talked to Mr. Ford, I guess he can talk if it's any other funding available other than EWP to fund that project.
Yeah, we sent a memorandum out to the board about that.
Okay.
So I think that's what the board wanted, was
Okay.
to seek other funding. I don't think that was an EWP.
Yeah,
I think
correct.
the match on those are too excessive.
Right, thank you.
We try to limit those to public.
Which one?
That was a sanitation or plumbing issue, wasn't it?
Yeah,
More or less.
One of the deputies brought up.
Don't they
Yes,
have
sir.
some money for that now? Didn't they just approve some money in the legislature to deal with, water and sewer and all that?
You're probably better up to date on that than I am, Ricky, but that's what the board asked Mr. Ford to look into, is alternative funding, not EWP funding.
I don't know, I just thought I heard that, I don't know.
We did not want to do an EWP on that, was my understanding.
Next thing I have, it's a road in the county, Windy Creek Road. It was approved October the 29th, 2001, but it wasn't spread across the minutes. It is a public road. It's what people found out, and I'd like to bring that back before the board and get it spread across the minute. It is a blacktop road, so it's really no maintenance. I mean, it's not a lot of traffic, but we had to do some research to find that. Ms. Page done that. She's very helpful to the road department.
All
doing
right.
that.
You heard the request of the road manager. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
Proper second by Middleton. If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
We're basically adopting the findings we previously did, that it was a public road that was accidentally let off.
Okay, let me stop before you start, on that. Well, I know the Supervisor Gray's area, but I remember we had the similar things happen on Sparrow Lane that we never took care and spread across the minutes on Sparrow Lane, which wasn't the same thing. So Supervisor Gray, do you wanna?
It was Sparrow, it's two different, it was Sparrow Circle, which we
Sparrow.
about that.
We
And
didn't do that?
then Sparrow Lane, what did we decide
We
to
didn't.
do?
On Sparrow Lane, was that one that we've been maintaining?
That's the
Yeah.
one that we had maintained, and they quit maintaining because they thought it was a
And-
private road.
But it's not a private road.
It's not a private road.
So I make that motion.
Okay.
So, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be no, any discussion? Be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you. The only other thing I have, Mr. Slover, is the email you'd sent me about Robbins Lake. I'll have that information in the morning, and I'll get it to you. He's gonna drop it off by my office, and I will get it to you. What he said, though, if we're requesting it, and we're gonna get it done, he's gonna want the county to pay him.
What, Mr. President, bring me up to speed, 'cause I don't know what y'all talking about.
So Robbins Lake Dam was built using a wrong pipe. After the specific instructions as to which pipe to buy from the engineer at the time, with JK&S, we have been trying to get that pipe switched out. The last estimate we had was about $175,000 to do that. We have made a claim for the E&O of JK&S to pay for that. We have not gotten a response, so I need to basically talk to the board about going ahead and getting that repaired, and that would be part of the damages to recover from, that policy.
Mr. President, so what are you saying, is you want this board to come up with $175,000?
I'm saying we need to get that road repaired so that MDEQ can accept that licensing, and that this was not a mistake, that was the county's fault, and that we seek recovery from whoever's fault it is.
So, help me if I'm losing my mind or something. I thought we was already in the process of trying to go to court or whatever we had to do all of this. Where is that?
We're in the process of it, that's why what I needed was an updated cost estimate. Yeah, cost estimate from Robbie, that's why I asked him to do that.
So
It's-
we pay $175,000, and how is we gonna get our money back?
We're either gonna get paid from the insurance company directly, or we're gonna file a lawsuit. That's
Okay.
what y'all talked about before, and this is all we're doing is just following through with that.
So when are we gonna do all this you talking about? Cause I know we finna pay the money, so at what point do we file a lawsuit, or at what point do we do whatever we gotta do to get our money
Gets me
back?
the estimate was when I was gonna come back and
I'll
go
have
back
that
to the
in the
board
morning.
and.
He could get it today.
Ricky, I think the EQ's gonna close the road down if we don't do it.
I
I don't know how much, but I just
ain't
wanna make sure you understood that we don't really have much choice.
I'm understanding real well. The problem I don't understand is we not holding everybody accountable like we hold other people accountable, because we gotta come up with $175,000 and we don't even know if we gonna get it back.
We'll get it back.
Okay, well, my whole thing is everybody needs to be held accountable to the same.
I am totally 100%.
Okay, that's all
correct.
I'm saying.
And that is,
I'm
again,
done, Mr. President.
we can discuss
Okay.
that after.
All right, hey, and, all right, we gonna, Robert, while we here, I think this to you, I was just opening this to my phone.
Go ahead and fix it. Robin's late.
Let us get the cost in the morning. Yeah, I just wanna bring it up to speed.
Yeah,
Okay, I got one more thing.
come on.
Leaners in the hangars. It's still with FEMA at the moment. We're trying to get a timeline of when we would get our money. Scott, have you heard anything? That was us this morning that Meg sent to her contact. You hadn't, I mean,
It's
that's
supposed to be 60 days from that
Yeah.
time when winter
Okay.
comes. Within 60 days, is what they said.
all right, so we're trying to wait on a timeline on that.
We check our portal every day now, so you get federal money and tracking that. That's one of the things that we did. Kind of impacts your budget a little bit, or really doesn't anymore, Robbie, but we did get a good payment from the EWPs
Yeah.
that's coming in, and we'll look for the remainder of it coming in for the next couple of weeks.
And I think Mr. Ford got some stuff on that too, on EWP as far as that reimbursement. But I'm through, what you got?
I'm gonna do this while we're here. I know, a few weeks ago, your office applied for the, this, environmental, Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality Grant for the $19,962.71.
Tire grant.
And this, I just want to bring it up, there's been awarded, I need permission from the board to sign the response. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Miller.
Second.
Been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Is there any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays, have the same right, thank you.
Thank you, that's all I have. You have anything for me?
I had somebody texted me the other day and said they had a lot of extra dirt over there at the graphite plant.
Kevin, I did, thank you. I did go over there and take a look at that. That was one day last week. I went and looked at it. It's a lot of sandy material. It's a lot of river silt. What it is where they stripped off the top to go in.
Put some
To
good
do
dirt
the
in.
work they did, to put some good dirt in. I have spoke with the guy, told him that we couldn't come on a daily basis and get what is about, 60,000 yards or more. So like I told him that I would ask the board, and I'm glad you brought that up, to give us permission to go down the levee to get some of that material to help fill in some holes and bad spots around here. We won't have to buy that type of material, that spoil material.
Did you hear that? We're gonna make a motion that the road department be able to get free dirt over there at the graphite plant.
It's down at that, where they building the batteries down.
Yeah.
Down the levee right there.
Okay.
It's some spoiled dirt and it's no contamination, nothing to, I mean, I've got all that on paper and all, so, I told them I get with the
You ready
board.
to request the road manager?
So I'm making a motion.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson to allow the road department to get spoiled dirt from,
Graphite.
graphite plant. It's been moved by, you made the motion? He made the motion, you said. Yeah, I was trying to get a clear motion so we have it there. The graphite. Yeah. All right, there be any more discussion? If all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nay, that same right.
Well, Mr. President, before you go, Mr. Attorney, South View, where are we?
That would turn my direction over as far as the lawyer's concerned, we're ready to go. It was.
I'm ready when y'all ready. I know you sent me the email, said Triad would take those bumpers as well as the place in Jefferson County will too.
Yeah, we ready.
So we ready to go. They're
MDQ is also working on and all that, but all we have to do is report to MDQ, because I told MDQ we're not about to wait, but they already waited. They just want Robbie to report what his plan is to deal with all that stuff, and they said help with it.
Let me help you out. Those people are burning plastic down there.
Yeah.
And it's affecting some of the people that live down there. Some of them got asthma, some of them got health issues, some of them got all this. So we need to get on this immediately.
All he has to do is say, submit to MDQ what he's gonna do with this stuff.
Okay. What landfill I'm carrying it to?
Exactly.
Okay, I'll submit that today.
Thank
And they're
you,
putting the board fence up on there.
Anybody call me?
He's putting the board fence up on there. He's got about
I'm talking about.
half of it done.
Okay.
I went through there last week.
Shut 'em down.
About half of his.
Dare them to do it again.
And one more question. Probably what the percentage, maybe 75% of through on our asphalt project?
Asphalt project, maybe not that much, probably 60%. They're moving on real well. One crew did go back to Mount Olive last week, Thursday was their last day here. So we got 2 crews running in the county and they're moving, at a pretty good speed now.
All right, well, thank you, just want to update. Anybody else had any questions about it?
Anybody had any complaints, anything on it? We've been back trying to get those shoulders back down.
Yeah, I had a complaint about it, but it ain't nothing to worry about. It's some of the same individuals that been trying to hold up Morgantown from
I had
day
that
one.
same call.
Calling, but we ain't gonna worry about
I
that.
had that same call, sir.
I just told you earlier, we ain't gonna let the devil get in it.
I had that same call. So, thank you.
Supervisor Mills, Supervisor Mills. Ms. Dollar, Supervisor Mills had a question.
I'm sorry.
Four-way stop at,
The rumble strip and the stop signs hadn't made it, but the rumble strips did make it Thursday. So as soon as they make it, we will get it
I'll
up.
do there this weekend.
Yeah, rumble strips did make it in, but the stop.
All right, departmental reports, we're gonna move on along.
Okay.
All right. Good morning. Burke Road archaeologists did submit the cultural resource survey that they were requesting for wildlife and fishery. So they did get submitted to wildlife and fishery. So I'm not sure what the next step is that they were waiting for. But that did happen. The EWP Magnolia Bluff, sites 2 and 3, and then Lincoln Heights. I just want to request authorization to advertise once the properties have been acquired for their temporary easement. So I don't have to wait to come back before the board.
You heard the request that the engineer has been properly moved by Supervisor Milton and second by Supervisor Wilson. Did you get the motion? Fifth motion.
Magnolia Bluff, sites 2 and 3.
Magnolia Bluff. There be any more discussion?
The legal work has been done on that, so now it's just tracking them down, getting them signed.
Okay. If there any more discussion, if there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, okay?
Next thing is the striping on the project, SAP 019 to hold them. Just need the authorization to allow the board president to sign the contract that we received from the contract for that project, as well as authorization to send a check of $65,400 to state aid for the non-participating portion of the project.
You heard the request, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, and it's been properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. I do have the contract in hand. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
And the last thing I have is Morgantown Road Phase 2. Talked with the city on last week. We anticipate advertising the project on the 13th and the 20th of April and having the bid opening on May the 17th, 2023 for Phase 2. Yeah.
All right. Hey, one more thing I want to bring up. We had talked about looking at that state aid money we possibly did. I had looked over a couple of them, but definitely I want to bring it up to ask the board to get permission to look at airport and armoring. One of the things, I think all of us, you know, I brought it up, all of us had a little more striping project, but, we are trying desperately to get our airport open up, and we did not get airport paid because it was, chip seal last time, but, perhaps we'll have our airport open, and coming from the bluff, probably going straight out Airport Road, that is probably one of the quickest ways instead of going 6 to 1, so we definitely need to consider, striping it. I'm not paving, we need to, consider striping it. Those 2 roads I would like to get, you to check on, and these other supervisors are gonna look at. I think Supervisor Wilson had Kingston, if I'm not mistaken.
8.6 miles.
Yeah, and so we wanted to look at Hartman and Airport, and Lowell.
Robbie, we already kinda looked at Kingston Road, or is that
Oh,
already?
yeah, looked at it, and I looked at it before the prices went through the roof like we did this asphalt. That's what I was just back there speaking with him about before my time to talk, but, I'm gonna try to piggyback off of one he's got when they come to town to do what asphalt we've done to try to get our price down, so I've got to work on that pretty quick. So when they come to town to do this striping project, maybe they can do what we need on ours, on this asphalt project.
So he's doing, so I'll need a motion to give him an opportunity to work on Lower Wolver, Artman, and Airport. Can I get a motion?
King.
And King, well, Kingston already working on.
Well, we need to get it all together.
Kingston, okay, all of them together. Kingston, Lower Wolver, Airport, Artman Road. Can, so I need a motion. Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Be any discussion?
Yeah, just on state aid, right?
State aid. All state aid. Any more discussion? There be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
You can just send me the hard copy.
Don't-
Back at them dates again, April the what?
April the 13th and April the 20th will be advertised.
And we're in May date.
And May 17th.
Okay, my next question is, y'all heard anything from?
I sent an email out last week asking for an update. They are both read the email. Haven't got a response at the phase 1 yet.
All right, thank you.
There be a thank you. Any more departmental reports? You got it? You need permission to do it?
Okay, we got the trash report.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
You also.
We're gonna wanna look at Greenfield Road as well.
We wanna look at
Comes
Greenfield.
off of Grange and goes to Kingston. We both have residents on that road, and
Greenfield.
you can't see anything on it either.
As long as it's state aid, I can.
The Greenfield, add Greenfield.
It's Greenfield up to the right. I think it's going to Lowe's. Greenfield up to Lowe's, I think that's the
The
first.
stop sign is loaded.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
just-
the stop sign to
Water
Lowe's.
tower goes back.
I just wanna make sure we get it all added
Yeah.
in the same. Okay. All right, you got it? Okay. All right, excuse me for, interrupting, go ahead, Mr. Frank.
Not a problem. We got the trash report in. Total number of bags on the state highways is 185 bags. For our county roads, District 1 got 23 bags, District 2 got 85 bags, 3 got 56, 4 got 49 bags, and District 5 has 48 bags. So District 2 was the winner this time.
Just gotta close a fast food restaurant.
You're right too. We do have 3 new hires.
Got a pile of them somewhere out here, buddy. Let's see what we want to get this now. Call his name out for me.
Robert Lee Irving III,
Hold on. Got him right there. Okay?
LaKendria Tillery,
Okay.
and you're gonna have to help me with this one, Jadarrington Smith.
Yep, I got him.
Okay.
Got all 3 of them. I got, Ms. Tillery is correctional officer, Starting off at $16, annual is $16,640.
Mr. President, how much?
$16 an hour,
For to do what?
part-time. She's a correctional officer, jail division.
He's a part-time correction officer.
She's part-time.
He won't be a full-time county employee.
Yeah,
There'll be no benefits.
Well,
with no benefits, so.
my question is, how much are they paying the correction officer?
13, they got 2 more correctional officers right here at 13.23, and it's probably because she have experience from previous sheriff coming in. She probably have some experience for some reason, I don't know. But she's part-time, and these full-time, both of them is at 13.23, and,
So, what is part-time hours?
Sir?
When you say she's part-time, what is the part-time hours?
Well, they're gonna vary.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, man, but y'all gonna open up a can of worms that this individual start getting full-time hours at $16 an hour, and the regular people over there getting $13 an hour could present. I'm just saying.
Well, they're not getting any benefits, that's a huge.
What I'm saying is, if it go over a certain amount, then they become full-time, and then it's $16 an hour. Somebody gonna monitor and make sure that they part-time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You want to make that part of the motion?
Well, my thing
Gonna be
is,
part-time.
with no benefits, you can't get over 21 hours
Yeah.
anyway.
You know, they become entitled to
That's
it
right.
after they hit that,
That's right, they
that
become
hourly
full-time.
threshold for it.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
that need to
And
be
you
part
can't
of.
discriminate based off of whether they get benefits or not. You're not supposed to kind of come in, that's not supposed to come in.
But that's what they said, they wouldn't get benefits, she's part-time.
it's part-time, it's on the paper, right? We do have it on the paper, and it's here in black and white, right?
To 21 hours.
So what is the annual, you got an annual amount?
$16,640.
Okay, and what's the regular maybe?
13.23 at 27,000.
What's the annual?
And 27,000
How was the annual?
and 16,000. Yeah. Any more discussion? Be no more discussion? Wait, made a motion here. Well, can I get a motion
So
here?
moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second? Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Now, will there be any more discussion?
Mr. President, I just wanna have a clear understanding exactly what we doing and all that, that's
I
what I'm
understand.
asking these questions. Thank you,
I
Mr.
understand, I
President.
understand. No problem, that's what we're here for. All right, if there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Any more departmental reports? There be no more departmental reports, Mr. Gray coming to the table.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I'm gonna try to keep this as simple as possible, but I got a lot to do, but I know I don't have as much time, so
Yeah.
I want to, first of all, congratulate the LSU Tigers for winning the, women's basketball championship, and the reason I'm doing this because they got their little number 45, her daddy and her mother is from Natchez, Mississippi, and her grandmother is Miss Jeanette Wilson. So congratulations goes out to the LSU Tigers for winning the first championship. My prayers goes out to the victims in Mississippi and Arkansas and Texas and wherever this storm is going and tearing up and killing people all over. So my prayers goes out to them. And scholarship, Ms. Brandon, where are we on the scholarship? Are people paying their money?
No, sir.
Have you paid it? Like, hey, could you send something out to remind each elected official that they need to come home with that $100 where we can award these kids a scholarship?
Yep, because I think the deadline's the 15th or 16th for the application.
15.
Does that need to come to you, people that haven't paid, like, you know, Ms. Hutchins?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I do have my wallet today, by the way.
Can you pay for it?
I can.
Thank you.
before we leave out, you need to hear this. I did meet with Southwest Planning about the $100,000 of the AARP money that the county was giving to Southwest Planning to help some older citizens and low-income citizens to maybe get some work done on their house. And he had a question, say some people had a question about what was the criteria. We don't have a criteria on our money like SNAP do. Our criteria is each supervisor identified 2 elderly or low-income people in their area, and we're gonna spend up to $20,000, 10 per individual. And if they don't need 10 and you have something left over, then you can spend it somewhere else with somebody else. That's our criteria.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to know, because that's what I thought about, because I thought they had it going already.
No.
And he told me that he did not know the criterias. And he said he did speak with you, but you was gonna get back with him on criteria. So I'm glad you said that there's no criterias to it. It's not like a SNAP.
No,
Okay,
it's just like you 62, you handicapped, you low income.
Is there an age? So that
62
is a
is old.
criteria.
Huh?
62 is
So,
old.
yeah.
Senior citizen.
So it
But
has to be senior citizen.
It don't, Angela.
Okay.
That's SNAP criteria.
Okay.
Our criteria is somebody
Just
low
anybody,
income.
okay.
We don't wanna have nobody living next to West,
That's right.
getting $10,000 to rehab a house. We don't wanna do it like that. Put out more than that, sir. Next,
That's for me.
He don't miss a thing, does he?
That's for me now.
next, my prayer goes out to, first I wanna congratulate you, my attorney for, the little baby boy. What is Scott Jeffro the third? I'm just joking. Congratulations, man. Tell your wife we say congratulations. And my sympathy goes out to the Provey Jackson. I didn't really know that was Dr. Daly daddy, but yeah, the Daly, the Johnson, the Batcham, Coleman, Harvard, McCoy, Green, Lyle, Smith, and McCoy family, and of course to my fellow Alderman Dan Dillard. I can remember when Dan first got elected and me and Dan bonded because they had us on the finance committee, and believe it or not, I'm the one trained Dan, and I mean, he took this to another level. I mean, Dan loved the finance committee because I don't care what Dan did, he gonna research everything before you bring it to that board, and that's the way I was trained. Research stuff before you bring it, and before you say something, you gotta make sure you're saying what's right. And last, we deal with the Southview. I think, Mr. President, I have one more thing, but you can go on with Supervisor Hutchins until I find it.
Right, Supervisor Hutchins?
No, I got it right here. And it was on my mind. I was dreaming last night, and what came to my mind was the great Martin Luther King. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will be judged not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. So I pray in this life we start not judging people by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Ms. Supervisor Hutchins.
All right, first I wanted to just congratulate our county attorney on their newborn baby, Paul. So congratulations on that. And then the next thing is I'd like to send prayers out to our hurricane victims that have been affected all over the area of Mississippi, Arkansas. I'd like to send prayers out to them and their families. Next I have is I need to get approval. I thought it was approved, but Paige told me it was not approved for the Southwest Planning and Development Conference to attend, and the dates are April the 18th through the 20th.
That's you and Ricky, or just for yourself? Ricky,
For both of us. And Southwest, they do, reimburse
All right, you heard
payment.
you heard the motion by Supervisor Hutchins. Get a second. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays, have the same right.
Mr. President, I'm just saying, since I'm the senior citizen on this board, I think I'm gonna drop some of these committees. Got me going too many places. I'm gonna let Wes pick up some of this.
You got more free time than I do. I promise you that.
All right, let's move on. You get it. Go ahead, Mister. We push for that time.
That's all I have.
That's all you have, Supervisor Mills?
Yes, sir. Saturday morning, I woke up at 5:30 and I had a text message from Representative Sam Mims, and it said 2:30 a.m. and it scared me to death. I was actually scared to open the text. But he was letting me know that the county had received $500,000 from the state to make repairs on Carthage Point Road.
Oh, great.
Later that morning, I got a call from Manning, and later I got a call from Representative Johnson. So I want to thank the state legislators for helping the county with this. As we all know, Carthage Point Road's been a tremendous expense on the county for many years, and it's just like everything else, it keeps going up. So back in January, myself, President Gaines, Supervisor Hutchins, and our road manager, Mr. Dollar, went to the Capitol and met with them and on that and some other things. So I'm very grateful that we were able to get that help. It was much needed. I also want to pray for the family of Alderman Dan Dillard. I had a grandfather who passed away as a sitting alderman in 1981. And a lot of people don't realize the commitment that these public servants make to this community. It never stops. It doesn't end at night. And he was a good one. So I just want to pray for their family. I also want to congratulate Scott and Jennifer. I graduated with Scott's wife, so I've known her a long time. Scott, you had 2 girls and a wife, you're outnumbered. It's now 2 boys, and 1 more, and you'll be split. That's all I have.
Supervisor Wilson.
Yeah, Scott, go ahead. Yeah.
This, I'm gonna cut him off for 1 minute, because before I forget, this is, I just got this text. This is Lynette from Southwest PPD. She wants to know if it's all right for the Sheriff Department wants to apply for grant funds for the equipment through the Bureau of Justice Project Safe Neighborhoods formula. No match required. The first part of the application is due today. And so we need to get a motion to allow her to apply for the grant for the Sheriff Department. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right. All right.
Okay, as the rest of them have, Scott, congratulations. I congratulated you earlier. I know that was kind of a surprise for y'all. A late edition like that, but congratulations. And on Mr. Dillard, he was a unique individual, and he'll be missed around here because he really took that job very seriously that he did. And
he was trained real well.
I heard he had a good trainer. Sure did. I know most of his children and his grandchildren, and I just saw his daughter crossing the street a while ago when I was coming up, and she's like 6 months pregnant. It's just like, what a shame, you know. Getting back to business, the tornadoes in this nation are getting to be everywhere. It seems like in Michigan, it doesn't matter where it's at nowadays. They're just everywhere. The shootings in schools getting a little out of hand. I don't know how much or what we can do. Most of y'all know we went to Coleman a couple of weeks ago and we introduced the ballistic rooms that we developed for the school systems, which are going to be pretty unique. And those people were actually driving to Coleman 2 days after that. They were intended to do it anyway, so they came down, and I think they're going to put some in every classroom. And it's a shame we have to do that, but there aren't a lot of alternatives, it looks like, and these things also double as storm. And this isn't an advertisement, this is just a fact, that we need some protection, and those tornadoes are good. If they hit during the daytime during school, some children get killed, you know. I know Vicksburg had an incident where they went and picked up their kids during a tornado. They almost lost some parents as well. I think Robbie, you covered most of that stuff. I did not ask Mr. Ford about the speed bumps down in Forest
I
Lane
asked him,
Station.
he said he's gonna revisit it.
Okay, 'cause those people
And I got it.
get a little excited out there about that, because it has been a while. That's been 6 or 7 months ago. Scott's left the room. We still haven't cleared up what we're gonna do about the trash. We talked about this, late in the meeting last week, or 2 weeks ago. Since then, I've got calls from people saying they have filed reports with the, Attorney General. I don't know what's in the reports. Didn't ask. State Auditor's Office has been contacted. These people don't want to see their garbage rates go up that much. They want to know why we can't do one day and or negotiate contracts. As the minority on the vote, there's not much I can do, but,
Kevin, I say this, you know, and I did tell you this, I did talk with them, last week in regards to that, and they are here, to give an answer, you know, they said, came to me that they just couldn't do anything, but they're here to, say why they can't or whatever, if you want them to say anything.
Scott, you walked in the room, I walked out of the room when I started this about what we were gonna do about, do we have a contract for the garbage?
Yeah, the basic parameters that we previously have been done the past couple of times, they accepted it. There was a addition about force majeure and in times of emergency. You know, I didn't see any issue with it, and so.
Are they gonna have a bond?
We did not, that was not part of the bid requirements. I asked if y'all wanted to, you know, price that, see if you wanted to include that to a contract and performance bond, a few months in case they walk out. It just wasn't in our RFP.
Mr. President, in case who walk out?
You know, the performance bonds are common in contracts and garbage. This board has never required one. They basically charge it back to you into the price.
Case and who walk out? Case in.
The contractor ever does. And I'm not in any way
Yeah,
picking on this one because it's common in.
I just want to say this is Natchez, Mississippi. This is not Jackson, Mississippi, where they voted people out and they're not getting their trash picked up. We getting our trash picked up. Let me just say this. I've been researching this, and Jackson trash done went up to the point where it's gonna be in the 30s, way over in the 30s. Rankin County in the 30s, Madison County. These people, Robbie, help me out, because what happened to the city of Natchez asphalt, letting everybody know that everything is gone up. I understand that $10 seems like a lot, but everything else we doing in this county is so positive, with the $8 million bond, with the $3 million reparation, with the airport, with this and that. We doing that without raising anybody's taxes at all. You can't get everything done without raising a little something. I understand it sounds like a lot, but once all these other counties start beating on trash, they're gonna be way higher than Allen County, I promise you that.
And let me say this, I did talk with, you know, some people in the city. I think the city is 19 now. You know, I talked to them and I talked to the city too. And theirs are 19.99, and theirs will be coming back up. And I understand that theirs are gonna be higher too.
I expect that, but I doubt it's gonna be as high as ours is. And I doubt they're gonna let them have a 4.5% rate increase every single year. Yes.
Everything's gone up, as you're aware. It's just been said, I think, Dollar, you made mention of that, and you just talked on it, expounded on it as well. You talked about the performance bond. Was that in the RFP, Scott?
No, that was not something.
Okay, so why are we even talking about that?
We're talking about it because I think it's a good idea. And,
I think it's a good idea, but it wasn't in there, so it shouldn't be brought up now.
that's why I brought it up,
Well,
because it should have been in there.
I'll show
There
it.
should have been a lot of things in there.
Yeah, so one of the things that should have been done.
Mr. President, could we move on with this issue, man, because, I'm having a great day, and I'm not gonna, allow something that we've already voted on, and evidently is not gonna change. I don't think it's gonna change this. One of y'all wanna do something to change it, other than that, it's not gonna change. And I understand everybody's not happy with what's going on, but the people that I talk to in my neighborhood watch Morgantown, some of them senior citizens, whatever the case may be, I explain everything to them, and they don't have a problem with it. The only people that had a problem with it, they lived inside the city limits, because they thought that they was going from twice a week to once a week. They the ones that had a problem with it. So I understand where you're coming from, Supervisor, but I mean, we got to move on from this.
Well, this is my report, and I'll conclude it with this. Okay. I had a lot of complaints, a lot of people are upset about it, they think it was wrong, that we didn't negotiate. As a businessman, when you come to negotiate and you don't do it at all, it looks kind of bad in the eyes of the public. So I have done my job. I've tried everything in the world to make sure we did the right thing, and I don't feel like we did, and I'm gonna be on record saying I don't think we did. With that, I'll conclude my report.
Ms. Deputy Clerk, Page Dini,
I do not.
County Clerk, Brandon Lewis.
I have a couple of things that need to be spread across the minutes. We have a construction change request on, looks like some material increase on SAP 017M. Mr. Marlowe has signed off on this. It looks like the difference is on the crushed stone and the asphalt. We just need to have that spread across the minutes, please.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Gray. Is there any discussion?
I've got it for some, Robert,
Say it again, please.
So it says it's a change request. The crushed stone, the tonnage went up from 4 tons to 12 tons, and the hot mix asphalt went from 3.7 tons to 6.7 tons.
On what project?
This says, yeah, River Terminal.
Okay, and I know in the contract, and I talked to the contractor, they did not put any asphalt on one of those drives.
Okay.
It wasn't in the contract. They did across the road, but they didn't go back and do this guy's driveway. So I don't know if that's where they're changing to do it, but JKS did put that in the contract for the contractor. If that's what they're talking about, with it different.
Yeah, it says repair of driveway stated above.
I'm withdrawing.
Yeah, me too, I'm with
Okay.
my second.
no, I was waiting because she was reading that it did say driveway.
It does say
Driveway.
driveway.
Okay.
Repair of driveway stated above.
It didn't say.
It says plans are not allowed for repair of driveways for the replacement of side drains. Yep.
He withdrew his motion, I withdrew my second because it was not in the contract.
Something we gonna have to get done? There we
I mean,
go.
that tore man driveway, if it needs to go back and be done, but I mean, still in all, it needs to be the right thing to do it, but the right thing is put it in the contract, you go design a job is to do it, but, I mean, his driveway needs to be fixed, it's not fair.
What is
Just
the
like
cost?
reading somebody cut somebody's drive,
did-
not put concrete back, you don't go tear your drive up and not fix it.
What's the cost?
Says his original quantities and costs were 4,500, revised quantities and costs 9,100 for a difference of $4,600.
Take care of that. Take care of that.
So moved.
It's been properly. Ask for a motion to fix it. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any more discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I mean, it's got to be time out for this, it's happening too much, and I ain't the one to be putting nobody's name out there and talking bad about nobody's name, but enough is enough. So, you know, everybody gotta be held accountable. If don't hold one person accountable, everybody needs to be held accountable. Don't nobody wanna talk about that. That's bad. I wanna know what my $700,000 is for the EWP project, we ain't got that. I'm through, I'm done.
One thing we need to do is do unit pricing, or not even unit pricing.
All right.
Next time, that stuff needs to be in a contract, because they know they're gonna have to do that, so it should be all legal.
All right, are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. All right, what's next,
I
Brandon?
have two, there are things that need to be spread across the minutes. I know that we've already discussed this. This is the deprogramming on McGehee Road and Morgantown, and we've received the paperwork from state aid, so just want to have that spread across the minutes.
Okay, you heard the request of the Chancery Clerk. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. There be any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
We need to get a motion by the board to approve the constables to serve the sheriff notices for the tax redemption on the 2020 tax year.
You heard the request of the Chancery Clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. There be any discussion? Be no more discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
Just wanted to notify the board that we got correspondence from the Mississippi Board of Animal Health that we have been awarded the $3,500 I Care for Animals grant. It will be a one-time payment, and the award went up from $3,000 to $3,500. And we do have to keep track of what expenditures we make on that. This is for the collection on the car tags. We just wanted to let the board know we did get the grant and it had been increased.
All right. You need to create proper minutes of this.
Yeah, just, we sent out the letters for the homestead chargebacks. This is something that comes from the state of Mississippi, where generally it is fair to timely pay their state income taxes, or if they claim homestead in 2 different locations. So we did receive 3 objections. So I don't know if the board wants me to state what those are or who they were from, and kind of let y'all know what the objection stated.
Some need to be spread across the minute.
Yeah, so generally what the board has done in the past is, this is something that the state mandates. They send it over to the county. We're merely the notifying party. So generally what the board has done in the past is, for these objections, do a motion for the objections onto the state. The state will review it again just to make sure that there was not an error. I believe at least on one of these occasions there was. The guy's social security number was wrong. And say on an occasion like that, they'll send a letter back and say, our bad, we didn't realize there was that error. So generally the board has just done a motion to send on the objections. We wait to hear back from the state and then move forward at that point.
All right. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson.
Second.
Been properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? Be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
On the ones that we did not receive objections on, I would ask for a motion from the board to accept the homestead chargeback on those properties and to spread those names and the reasons for the chargebacks across the minutes, please.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. There be any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
We received invoices, I think Wes got them over email from Concordia Parish on the housing of inmates. It was for December, January, and February, and Scott and I had talked about just getting the direction from the board as to how they want to handle the payment on that for those 3 months. It's,
How we been?
What's the amount?
so $11,460 December, $13,380 for January, and $13,290 for February.
I can't remember if the board set an amount of inmates that we were gonna allow to be, or budget to be sent over there, or whether it was just a, open-ended type of deal. Probably something we might need to say, we can allow 11 people, allow 15 people, no more, to try to keep costs under control.
Because there were 13 in December, 18 in January, and then 19 in February. So
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why they haven't been, that's what my question is, why they hadn't been paid in 3 months.
It's not a problem with the county's end, it was a problem with the Concordia Parish Sheriff sending the bill to West Middleton, so. Not West, West. So I talked to the sheriff's office on it during the whole fiasco, and we've got payments and we're together now. So it's not our fault.
Okay, well,
But as
which
far as
direction we need to go, we need to make it, go ahead and,
set a cap on it, which y'all need to think about doing.
I mean, we really need to talk to the sheriff and.
That's all I said, think about doing that.
So, yeah, so I guess we need to figure out how, you can figure out how to get them paid and allow the sheriff an opportunity to be back and we can know, that way we don't want to set a cap on something he needs, he run the jail, and then we'll do that.
Absolutely.
If we would, we'll take down the advisement and move forward. And that's fine with everybody else. Fine with everybody, okay? But we're gonna move forward, okay, Brandon?
Okay. We, for St. Catherine Creek, for the permitting, we need to have someone designated by the county to handle that. I know Robbie had done it in the past, and he's no longer in that capacity, and didn't know if the board had any direction as to someone they wanted to step into that role. So we've gotten a letter just notifying us that we need to have a new person designated.
Who did it last year?
Robbie.
Robbie did it? Could Meg do it, or?
Did what?
St. Catherine Utility Authority
Yeah.
reporting.
Probably got off of, and we're gonna need somebody, at one time they said somebody asked Miss Sylvia Bunch about it, cause she did once before, am I correct? Robert?
When I started, she got, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, so we need somebody on, basically we need somebody on record. So we definitely don't have anybody, we need to be thinking by next meeting to have somebody else to go on the authority, so we'll all hear from the, as a board, and we'll be thinking, give it Robert, get some suggestions of what kind of person we need, and we'll take down the advisement and hopefully we can handle that.
But it's not just putting somebody on.
No, you need somebody to know what to do.
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, that's why I said give it Robert.
Is somebody gonna get paid to do it?
They probably don't need to get paid to do it.
Well,
He was getting paid.
you got to figure out how much you gonna pay them to decide whether they even wanna fool with you.
That's why I said we need to take it on the advisement and have it on next meeting, because we're definitely not ready for
I
that
said you
due
need
diligence
that.
though.
So the permit expiration was February 29, 2024, but is February 29, 2024. The application due date is September 2nd, 2023, but certainly want to get someone in place
Before
to
September.
train before we have to do that.
But there's nobody in place right now.
Nobody.
There's not.
So that deadline needs to be well before that.
Right.
Well, before, so that's why we need to take down the advisement, we think about moving forward, we can sit down as a group and figure out, you know, cause all this pressure time for the film, so, you know, and I don't wanna rush anything.
And we also have to think about, we've got the insurance that's fixing to come due in June, so
So that
they're
give us-
gonna want their reports done and all of that before the insurance can be renewed.
Okay. We need to take it under advisement, we really need to, look at our next meeting and try to start moving with some answers, cause you know, we'll have them for June, if they'll be okay. Anything else, Brandon?
I just have one other item. Human Resources came to me asking if the floater could assist in her department. I wanted to get the blessing of the board before I did that, seeing if this person will be assisting with, you know, confidential personnel files and things of that sort. So I wanted to make sure.
Why would she need help?
Why?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Much turnover.
With a county of this magnitude, and me coming from the city, and they not as big as the county, and they have a human resource like department with other people, other than that human resource young lady over there, for anybody to be effective and do their job to the point that they need to do their job, they needed their help every now and then, and if we could get that person to float or do what, to go help her reorganize whatever she need to be, whatever she need reorganized, and we won't have to hire nobody, that is not an additional fund to the county. That's just my opinion.
My concern is the sensitivity of the information should be crossing. At any rate.
I mean, let me ask you a question. Kevin, before you go. Is this person, what is this person gonna be doing? Just putting files in something, or she gonna be going through people's files and looking at?
Going through files, she's wanting to make sure that the pay in lieu forms in there are the correct forms, so it's going to be going through and looking at the files.
So what is the difference of hiring somebody part-time to do this than just getting one of our own employees to do the same thing? I trust the employee than somebody coming off the street part-time that ain't gonna be here that long. That's just my opinion.
I just didn't wanna, tell them it was okay without getting the board's,
I don't have a problem with it.
acknowledgement of it.
I don't know, we hiring for a floater, so what's the pledge of the board? And we'll
Float,
just do
let
that.
it float.
What's the pledge of the board? I want the board to be happy we make a decision on, I mean, if we can depend on, do we need to vote on what we need to do, or we gonna let it flow, cause we gotta have somebody to, cause if we hire the floater,
So do we got to have someone to do that? She needs some help?
That's what she said, she asked for help.
Ricky, is that a motion?
I move that we allow the floater to go to human resource to assist her as Miss Brandon or whoever, cause that's your department, right? See, so.
She recommends.
okay, so it's been properly moved and properly moved by Supervisor Gray, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Are there any discussion?
On the discussion I have, Mr. President, we just gotta be real careful when the department head asks for help and we don't give it to them, and then they can't do their job like they're supposed to, and then we punish them for it when they didn't ask for help. Thank you, Mr. President.
I am more discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed? Nays have same right. Motion carried now.
Getting close.
We did have an item for executive session out there, I know the board needs to go, I don't know if we wanna come back, or,
We had to come back.
and you had
See
to
you
come too, right?
Mr. President, Kevin done left out, so I guess he ain't gonna deal with y'all. We gonna accept the trash contract before I go.
I need a motion to approve the contract.
So moved.
It's been properly moved and properly second to accept the trash contract and discussion. If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nays have the same right. Motion carried now.
Come on, Mr. President.
I'm waiting on the turn.
Sorry.
Rodney, I got files.
On Friday when we got back, we had a mental health meeting together with the state's mental health, what we call them czars, come down, and what they have recommended and sought out for is for Region 12 to come along with Jefferson, Adams, Wilkinson, did I say all four of them right?
Jefferson, Wilkinson, Adams.
Claiborne, sorry, to all join in to, region, was it 15?
15.
Wow, it's going crazy, thank you. More.
Yeah.
That particular region is in better shape when it comes to financials, as to billing and receiving money. They're willing to accept us on. There's a couple of things we still have to get together and approve. Some of the things that they'll need us to do would be increase the amount of how much we contribute. The increase, though, we're talking maybe $10,000 more a year. We already get 77, so you're talking 88 or so, 89. That is not what we're seeking any approval on. All else, just something that they suggested the crisis stabilization unit. The good news here is that we worked really hard to get it here. Would remain here in Adams and would stay servicing the new region. The new region does not have SCSU, so it'd be kind of a mutual benefit on that end. So that's something that we're looking at. If the board is okay with that, moving with that, we can do that as a motion. Probably handle it next meeting.
Yeah,
but I want y'all to think about it if you have any questions and things like that.
Yeah. we have another meeting, so we have a meeting on the 10th, so I wouldn't, recommend we make a motion until we have the next meeting and we can have, more detailed information for the board.
So that and an item to be determined, and I'll allow you to elaborate on
Yeah.
accomplishments.
Well, first thing I'm gonna do, starting off, is ask for a motion to for a letter of support to Ben Thompson, officers on the letter of support for the Fox of the Road Freedom Park.
So moved.
Can we, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There being discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right. We have the home, reconstruction rehabilitation grant. We have, paperwork on the right here that, Alan Larry forgot to get it signed last time for the board. The environmental paperwork, can I get a
So
motion?
moved.
Sign this paper, it's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Well, just quickly, let me do this. Reverse, there'll be a reverse career fair on April 25th at 9 to 12 a.m. and it will be at the convention center. If you have more information, you can contact Captain Parker or anybody at the Natchez Inc., Mr. Warner Williams, over there on the reverse job fair. But I would like to say we went to DC. I think we had a really good meeting. We got a chance to see all of our congressional delegates, and we asked for money for our fire truck, and I think that we're gonna have a great chance to get our fire truck funded. But we also, idea came up saying that we gonna get $1 million fire truck, but who's gonna run it? And possibly being able to look into probably needing a fire station at the airport. That's one of the things came up because like it's made a lot of sense, but if a plane's on fire, when he hit the ground, he don't need nobody coming to the fire. He needs somebody there and be able to put the fire out. And $1 million fire truck, you need somebody that's capable of running and doing that. So that came out in the Freedom Park they did. So it was a really great experience, and I think we'll have some positive reinforcement. I think that we'll get a good bit of money out of it. Won't put a dollar figure to it, but I'm pretty much sure we'll get financed. And when the dollar figure do come, we'll definitely announce it to the public. All right. So I'm gonna go on and do these right quick. I got a correctional officer. Sure, it's got some stuff double in my folder. A temp hire. Tyler is the temp. I just said Ms. Terrell. I'm trying to see. Oh, for Ms. Verna Johnson. We approved it last meeting, but it was
It's a different person.
it's a different person right now. I can't even pronounce his first name. Roger Quiniqua. Terrell, coming back at $12 an hour, and she resigned before, so she didn't get fired. She resigned and she's coming back, and they wanted permission to hire.
So
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There being discussion. If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. On the last meeting, we did approve the 1586 for Mr. Evans, but it was over. We just need to make sure that he's not going to juvenile detention. He's gonna stay in IT. Edwin Smith, the same assistant IT guy. We approved him for to go to over there, but now we're approving him. He said he would stay you know, we discussed it, so now I'm finna get a motion to allow him to stay here for the same money.
I think we did that.
No.
We made a motion for him to go over there, not here.
Second.
Yeah. It's properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. If be any more discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. And this is juvenile detention correctional office, yeah, April 4th. Her name is Lakeisha Patterson at $12.13 an hour. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second? Properly second by Supervisor Middleton. There be any discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. I need, approval for travel for, Javen Johnson from the tax collection to go to the, conference in Flowood. That's in our tax collector's office over there. The days is the 20th. Huh?
Top row.
Okay, May 7th through the 12th in Flowood, Mississippi. Can I get a motion? Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Yeah, town specific.
There's no way, I see Alan's not here.
I just did it.
But the engineer, when y'all chose the engineer
Pioneers.
for Bluegrass,
Yeah.
he did not get a motion for that.
Yeah.
And he needed a motion.
So moved.
Can I get a motion?
Approve IMS.
And for the engineer to look at the project on Bluegrass, subject with Lil. It's been properly moved by,
Right.
Gray and second by, Hutchins. There be any discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Well, I think, we got to hold up anyway, I think we're gonna,
Recess.
Yeah, what do y'all want to do?
because we have two items to be determined, so, we're gonna make a motion to recess to attend the funeral of, Alderman Dan Dillard, and then we'll come back after the funeral and, finish these other couple items that need to be determined. So can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved by Supervisor, Gray, and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. What time what time? Huh? All in favor? Vote by using sign of aye.
Just,
Any opposed, nays have the same
just
right.
right after the film,
Right.
just redeem right